This is my first video, and I'm not trying to be clickbaity with this statement, but I don't care. Across the Spider-Verse is the most beautiful movie I have seen in theaters in the last 10 years. They smoked every single frame. They took everything from the first movie and said, you know what? Let's multiply that by 1,000. I don't know how many hours, I don't know how many months, how many years the Sony animation team worked on this movie. I can guess it had to be over 5. They smoked it. How did they come up with some of the things in this movie? How did they come up with Spider-Punk? I can think about, okay, cool, Spider-Punk, let's give him a punk rock vibe from a different world, okay. But from the animation technicality standpoint, they took different frames from almost every single thing on his body, from his guitar to his jacket to his skin, and they have it moving at different frame rates and different color palettes. I'm baffled. I'm thinking like, yo, Pixar is supposed to be the top dog. They may be second now to Sony Animation. I can't believe I'm saying that. But just from a visual standpoint, Spider-Punk alone pretty much pulls his pants down, take a dump on the establishment of every other animated studio out there right now. Sony Animation has got the gun to almost every other studio has, because they smoking it. But come on, we can't just not talk about animation and mention the most beautiful thing that put me to tears in theater. Gwen's world. Almost every scene with her father, I almost got teary-eyed. I ain't gonna cap on my first video. I'm not capping at all. I cried in theater, bro. I was shedding grown man tears. Tears was hitting my chin, bro, because of the scene with her father at the end, with the colors changing from pink to purple to white, the waterfalls dripping on screen with the colors mixed in. This looked like someone was painting while we was watching a movie in real time. The animation is gorgeous. I can gushy all day. I might have to make a whole nother video on the animation. But let's just get into the story, because Miguel was wilding. That boy high-key racist, and I'm ready to get into that.
I respect every single Spider-Man in here. Does that include me? No, you fuck!
Miguel. You was bugging, bro. Why did you do my man's Miles like that? He was chasing after Miles like a KKK member at a Black Lives Matter rally. What is going on with Miguel? Did y'all see the claw marks in Miles' chest? It looked like he was fighting Wolverine. No, it looked like he was fighting Wolverine and X-23 at the same time. What? Like, dang, is he really this mad at Miles? Like, honestly speaking, towards certain scenes in this movie, I couldn't tell if this was something deeper and more villainous or the honest truth about the canon. And I want to really specify that in this one scene, when Miles was on the go home machine and you see Spider-Man 2099 running towards him, banging and clawing on the webs, trying to open it up to get to him. He's banging and clawing and using the talons, and he puts both of his palms of his hand on the machine and trying to rip it open with his claws. And you see it's trying to rip open, and all you see is his eyes and his face, and you see Miles staring at him in straight terror. And you can see it in Miles. You never really seen him that shook since Uncle Aaron died. Or maybe towards the end when Uncle Aaron reveal came back in the other universe. But even still, I think he was more scared in that 2099 scene than the ending. Bro, in that scene, when you see the other Spider-Man circle around him, and Gwen is like, I thought we were supposed to be the heroes. He's like, we are. I was like, yo, this man really may be the villain. Like, for real, I was shook, cause I was scared like Miles. I'm like, I don't want him running after me. Like, I'm running through my apartment complex, scared as hell out of my mind. Like, and I hear that theme come up out the background while I'm showering. I'm shivering in my boots. Like, no, I'm more scared of 2099 than a Prowler. Like, what is going on, man? I don't know what his deal is. I really feel like it's something a lot more deeper than just the save one versus the whole world mechanic from the canon. And I really think it's deeper than that. But if it's not, then I understand his mentality, especially since he lost his daughter and his whole world. So he's just really upset and don't want it to happen again to anybody else. I understand that. But at the same time, he has to see that there's holes to his theory. And I think that's why he really don't like Miles, because he is the visual representation in front of him that his theory is not true. Because the truth is, if Miles is the first anomaly, why didn't his world collapse? So he's living and breathing proof that you don't have this all correct. And I think that's the real reason why he want to get Miles up out of here, so he can go back to thinking everything's all right within his theory and be satisfied knowing that whatever I'm doing is the right thing, when deep down he know it's not. But outside of that, his character design was flawless. I love that they bulked him up, obviously probably because he's more not the villain, but he's the antagonist, so they had to make him a bit more scarier. My favorite visual scene with him is towards the ending, and he rips the portal open, steps through, and he's on that. He smoked this scene. He is on the rooftop, him, Spider-Woman, and Ben Reilly, and like he's just glowing up there in the darkness. Beautiful scene. Love that visuals with 2099 Spider-Man. But it's time to move on from Mr. Wolverine, Shiesty Spider-Man himself, and move on to the real Shiesty, the real antagonist of this movie. Gwen Stacy. My girl did Miles wrong in almost every way she thought of, man. Gwen, baby Gwen. Why didn't you just tell Miles the truth, man? You had my boy walking through the Spider Society happy as hell. Hobie looking at him like, you know I hit that? Like, come on now. You should have told him. You wear Hobie's shoes. You didn't tell him about all these millions of spider people and just told him it's just a small little unit. Like, come on now. And then the big kicker, you knew I was the first anomaly. You knew all this deep stuff about my past, and you chilling with me on a rooftop upside down listening to Sway Lee.
Accusations! These are not accusations. This is false accusations. And
I love that song too, but come on, broski. Like, you supposed to be my girl. You supposed to be my spider twin. We twinning up. We swinging around the city. We Gucci. And you over here pitting little cameras by Spy House, and you ain't telling me. She was so shiesty to Miles throughout the whole movie. And I hope she hit up JFK, hit up MLK, the people who gave some of the best speeches in the world, and go hit them up in another dimension and say, can you help me make a speech? Because I got to get this boy back, because I was tripping. Because she really was tripping towards Miles. But obviously the way the storyline looked like it's really going to go is Miles is going to deal with some stuff with his his evil twin from another dimension. But Gwen and them is going to come in, save the day with him. And then him and Gwen is going to have a nice little moment. Then they going to end up fighting the Spot, lose. And then 2099 come in, fight Gwen. They going to lose. It's going to be like a little draw battle. Then Spot going to come in, and everybody got to come together to beat the Spot. That's the way it looks like it's going to go directly. We're going to get that 10 minute spider war, between all the spiders, that little nice fight scene. That's how I envision the sequel is going to go. I just hope she give Miles a really good apology, especially at the way my bro Converse is. Like, that would have been it. Screw 2099, screw my mom and us having problems because I'm tweaking out, screw Spider-Woman being mean to me, screw everybody. Oh, you win this nigga Converse?
get the hell out! Get out! Get out! Get out!
Bro, I would have been out of here, man. I would have been out of here. I don't even know if it was Converses. I would have just been heated. I wouldn't even want to go to another dimension with her. I said, just send me home. Just send me home, because she wearing other dudes' shoes. Like, come on now, shorty. But the thing is, all jokes aside, Spider-Punk and Miles' relationship was amazing. I'm so happy they didn't do the whole love triangle thing. Who's she gonna be with? Oh, we find out in the next sequel. Like, no. Spider-Punk was just cool. He's like, yo, I'm not worried about her like that, bro. Like, for real, that's pretty much his whole energy as a character. And Miles is just able to flow. And the relationship was able to flow, and just I like him as a character not getting in the way of Gwen and Miles' love. And Spider Bite, let's talk about her for a little bit, right?
Spider-Man.
Oh, no way. All of us are.
Bombastic side eye.
See you around.
Let's go!
Criminal
Hey, look out there, man.
offensive
Okay,
side
bye.
eye.
But I love the scene of Miles kind of, he wasn't being flirtatious, but he was kind of talking his mess to her. And then Gwen going to shoot the spider web, put him on his back, and drag him back. Like, nah, shorty, you was lying this whole movie. And now I'm talking to a black spider girl, and you going to try to pull me away? Nah, we ain't doing that. Come on. I was laughing in the theater the second time I seen the movie because of that scene. There's not that much to say about the actual MVP of the movie. Of course, Miles Morales. his storyline just perfectly transitions from the first movie to the second one. Him older, you see the anxiety and depression that he's feeling, missing his friends that he made in the Spider-Verse, the first one. And you just see that it weighs on him to the point where he's drawing Twitter fan art of him and Gwen. Like, it's really kind of sad when you really sit there and think about it, because he can't relate with nobody. And you can see that Genki kind of is like keeping his distance when it comes to that. But the fact that his character just shows beautiful growth, and that one scene of him and his mom on the rooftop, her trying to explain to him, don't let nobody change you or say you can't do this or say you're not that. Just that beautiful inspirational speech really sets the tone of what he has to deal with Miguel. And Miles is just, him as a character is honestly my favorite character in the movie. I know I joke around with Miguel and Gwen and Spider-Punk, but Miles hit home for me because his relationship with his mom is truly beautiful. And you can really feel the love that the actors put into those scenes and trying to be relatable and something that a person who has a mother and a son can actually see and relate to. Because, like, damn, that's just like my mom. And I feel like a lot of guys was in the theaters like, damn, that's kind of like my mom and dad. And Jefferson smoked it as the dad role. But it's honestly, with me personally, the complexity with him and his mom. And then I know it seems kind of generic looking from the outside and in, but as a person of color in relationship with his mom, and honestly, there's not that many superhero movies where the parents are alive for this long. It's not that many superhero movies where the parents are alive. Not the aunts. You know what I mean? It just, not the aunts, not the cousins, not the friends from a distance. Like, no, this is his mom and dad, and they are alive, and he is doing this journey. Well, we don't know. We don't know. Jefferson ain't looking too well for you, brother, next movie. But honestly, the relationship is beautiful. And I honestly fell in love with it in the first movie, and in this movie, it just carries it further. And it just helps Miles progress to this amazing character that he is now. Where he was like, I'm not scared. I showed him. Like, when he was talking to his mom when he thought he made it to the right universe, he's like, yeah, Ma, I did everything you said. I showed him. I'm not scared. I did not get that what's up danger moment, but I'm okay with that. The storyline didn't call for that heroic, inspirational, direct moment. This is a part one. So we don't really, this is the Infinity War. We're not going to get that till Endgame. So beyond Spider-Verse, that's when we're going to get that what's up danger moment, that inspirational moment that ties everything together like a bow. We're going to get that next movie. So I'm not tripping over that. But again, Miles as a character is the most beautiful thing ever. Shit, let me chill. I got to talk about his mom. Rio, what's up, Rio? Come on, come mess with the boy. Miles traveling dimension, chasing girls who don't care about him like that. Jefferson over here stopping drug dealers and getting beat up by supervillains.
Leave me alone!
Come on, mess with the boy. Come like the video. Come subscribe to the channel. You a baddie. Come mess with a real one, Rio. But I can't forget and mention the soundtrack. In almost every pivotal scene in this movie, between Metro soundtrack and Daniel Pemberton's score, it enhances every scene to its fullest. If it's not the Prowler's theme coming out the blues, like out of nowhere, giving you the chills down your spine, the sci-fi feeling, but also dynamic 2099 soundtrack. If it's not Metroboomin killing it with every single artist he chose. I listened to the soundtrack on repeat for I don't know how many days. Every song bang. And that's not even from a hip-hop perspective. In the movie, the scene that he chose to put the song in, or the director chose to put that Metroboomin song in, enhanced it. Hummingbird, like that scene of them on the rooftop, everything was just perfect in line with the music. And a lot of filmmakers forget that the soundtrack of a film, the score of a film, enhances it in every way. Just a quick mention, just like in the new Transformers movie that just came out, that hip-hop soundtrack, a lot of the older people in the theater, they really woke up just to stay alive for the soundtrack. And I could see them enjoying it, even while the younger people were just like, yeah, this is cool. But the older people from the 90s was like, yo, this is really dope. A soundtrack is very important in the movie, and Metroboomin and Daniel Pemberton with the score smoked it, and they kept everybody just stuck in those scenes. Every pivotal scene is just like I said, it enhances it and it makes everything run so much more smoother. And the soundtrack also pushes the story forward. Just like in the music in the background towards the end when Miles is trying to swing to his house, it was so intense. It makes scenes more sad, like at the beginning of when Gwen and her dad, he tried to arrest her. That scene and the sound in the background, it makes you feel what Gwen is feeling, those sad and I can't believe it emotions. So shout out to every single music composer when it comes to this movie. Y'all smoked it in every way. And y'all, this is a wrap on my first ever video.